Hey guys, I'm back again with a brand new video for you all, and finally it's league rotation time, and from tomorrow all 3 leagues are going to be all available. And if you're bored playing Scroll Cup for like 15 or 16 days, now from tomorrow it's going to be over. It's going to be Great League, also the Master League. Today we'll be talking about the best teams that we can use for the Open Great League from tomorrow. I'm kind of excited for it. So without any further ado, let's start the video. The first team that we're going to be talking about is Grumpig, Cradily, Dunsparce. Now, I've talked about this team before as well. Before I used to run Dunsparce in the lead. Now, it's not in the lead. It's at the back. Grumpig is in the lead. Kind of ABB format. Before it was kind of ABA, right? Or neutralizing the lead scenario. That was how we used to play with this team. Now it's going to be, Psychic at the front and then Normal and Rock at the back. That is going to be double weak to fighters at the back. And you got a Psycho. Not Psycho. I'm sorry. I used that word. That's Psychic. Just kidding, guys. And Grumpig is now, it's fine. And plus, Grumpig is also weak against things like Talonflame, where it should be neutral. But yeah, Talonflame can have the upper hand against Grumpig. And both the Pokemons at the back has the ability to beat Talonflame, even though its Cradily is grass, it can beat Talonflame. That rock typing and rock move, and Cradily is just so good. You can pair it with a lot of the teams. It is going to be my #1 pick for this Open Great League format from this season, right? There were a lot of the changes for the battles or the Pokemon or the move sets like Rock Tomb there, right? And yeah, Cradily is going to be so good if you keep the fighters like away with it. Team #2 is Annihilape, Corviknight, and Morpeko. Now, it might seem very not balanced team in terms of things against like Talonflame. Corviknight is going to be weak against that, right? And Morpeko can do good against Talonflame. Actually, it has slightly the upper hand. Talonflame, which is obviously can do good. There's no doubt about that. And Talonflame has slight advantage against Annihilape as well in terms of typing. Now, in that scenario, it's going to be a little difficult, but other than that, it's going to be really cool. And Morpeko is going to be weak against things like Carbink and Bastodons, and Annihilape is the answer for Bastodons, but not Carbink. It's kind of what I call is Carbink and Annihilape is kind of neutral. Carbink needs to land the Moonblast or the Fairy move, right, or whatever it's running. So yeah, it's not bad for Annihilape. And yeah, even the grass poison types, Corviknight is the answer, right? Annihilape being the fighter, certainly not an answer for against things like poisons solely, but it can do good against poisons like Clodsire and the Drapions, right? And Clodsire Annihilape is also a neutral scenario. If it gets start to get boosted, Annihilape is going to be deadly, right? And yeah, the dark type also that is not big of a problem, even if there is a Malamar, not great problem. And Corsola. Now Corsola is good against your lead, but backline you got Dart there, it can be covered. And Grumpig, the same thing, right? That's Psychic and lead is fighter, but you got Dark at the back. And yeah, Morpeko itself, lead is good. And talking about #1 Pokemon for the Great League, Mandibuzz, you can save swap into your Corviknight and you got Morpeko at the back. So it's kind of a balanced team, right? So let's move on to another team. It's going to be team #3, Jumpluff, Blastoise, Lapras. This is kind of a famous line. People use it with number of grass types like Superior. Even I've seen people using it with Venusaur as well. Now, yeah, talking about the typing, Venusaur is the poison typing, resists the fighting moves, right? And Jumpluff is the flying typing, resists the fighting moves. And you got Lapras, the ice type at the back. That's the kind of the sense it makes. And ABB for the things like fire and yeah, those things. And also ice like Dugongs and Rollout. Blastoise got Rollout. It's going to be good against the counters of Jumpluff like Dugongs and Talonflames, and even there's going to be Skeletorges, right? Now, Morpeko, you got to stay in the lead with your Jumpluff if it's in the lead. And if it's not in the lead, you need to bait out the Morpeko, right? And other neutral scenarios like Sableye or the other things like, Mandibuzz, this team is kind of good. And your backline is going to be fine against Mandibuzz. One else Rollout, one else Ice Beam. You can also run Skull Bash in your Lapras. And yeah, that's pretty cool. And Clodsire, your backline can handle it, not your lead, right? And yeah, so this is going to be cool team, interesting team. Let's move on to another one. It's going to be team number 4, Primeape, Sableye, and Togetic. Sableye and Togetic core is really good. The things like Bastiodon can be troublesome for Sableye and Togetic. Well, Sableye and Bastiodon is kind of a neutral, but with a lot of 2 shields, Sableye has the so Sableye can do good, right? And yeah, Primeape definitely fighter for those things. So people are running Thunderfang, Steelix as well, and you got Togetic at the back, and Primeape is gonna do good for that, right? And again, no clear answer against things like Talonflame, but you gotta do some here and there and teamworks. If it's in the lead, you don't need to swap right away. Go for Rage Fist, Rage Fist, Rage Fist. Put them in pressure, soft lose, and then come into your Sableye. That's how you're gonna play. And again, Azumarill. So if it's Azumarill, then you can just shield and then go for Rage Fists, and then come into your Sableye, and or the safe swap, or you bait out Azumarill with your Sableye, and that's how you're gonna play. And Togetic is really good against those grass as well, because it's also, you know, flying, and you got a fighter up front. So this is pretty much balanced, right? And if it's gonna be poison type, Togetic is gonna be weak against poison types, but you got a Ghost also there, the Sableye, right? So it's pretty much balanced. So let's move on to another team, team number 5, Talonflame, Jellicent, and Gastrodon. Talonflame double water. Now, nothing much to understand about this team really. You know, you got double water at the back, weakness grass, and you got Talonflame up front, and it can be, you know, Gastrodon and Jellicent is so good, still so good, right? And it can do good against the always meta things like Clodsire as well, both of them, right? Even yeah, because Talonflame will save a lot of the, Talonflame will save Jellicent and Gastrodon from a lot of their counters, and that's how it's gonna go. And plus, there are going to be Cradilys, right? So Cradily can be a big problem for this team, but we can do a few here and there's. And Cradily against Talonflame, you don't need to swap right away. Let them shield, right? Or not shield, but they are gonna shield at some point if you go for back-to-backs, right? And you gotta shield their move. That's the problem. And then you can come in with your Jellicent after like kind of soft losing, and it's gonna be 1-to-1 shield. That's how you're gonna play. But definitely it's gonna be super hard. But I have played with this team against Cradily teams. Lost 2-1-2. That was the scenario. But definitely, I have to be honest with you guys, right? It's gonna be super difficult against Cradily teams, and especially if it's at the back. Now up front, Cradily needs to throw the move, right? And you got a shield, and that's how it's gonna go. But yeah, still a little bit difficult, and you can handle with this team. Their backline can handle things like Azumarill as well. And again, more Peckle, you can shield, go for the moves, shield their move, right? And then kind of take their shield and soft lose, and give your shield, and then come with your Gastrodon, play it like ABA for more Peckles. That's how it's gonna be. So let's move on to another team. It's gonna be team number 6, Clodsire, Mandibuzz, and Lapras. Now, alright, so weak to rock backline, and you got a ground there, right? Weak to fighting Lapras, you got poison up front. That's how this team is going to be. Now, core breaker for this team is going to be Alolan Sandslash, right? Alolan Sandslash is going to be the core breaker, but there aren't many Alolan Sandslash, but there are few. So it's going to be a little bit of a problem. You gotta grab the shield with Earthquake. You can tank a move from A-Slash, and then do that kind of thing. And plus Lapras against A-Slash, A-Slash doesn't have a super effective move, and it's vice versa. Lapras also doesn't have, right? So you can just go for sparking areas and tank their drill runs and do that, and that's how you're gonna play. And plus run Snarl for the Open Great League, not the Air Slash. It's Air Slash there, but you can run Snarl. That's how we're gonna play, right? Let's move on to another team. It's gonna be team number 7, Corsola, A-Slash, and Dunsparce. Now, both weak against fighting at the back, and you got Ghost up front. That's how this team is designed, right? And yeah, against Shadow Claw users, there's a normal type Dunsparce in the team, and Corsola is going to be weak against the Froggators, Sableyes, right? And that's how, yeah, this team is designed. Because, yeah, I kind of like this team, actually. I think I'm going to run it. If you guys run this team, please let me know, right? And please comment, guys. Please comment, make comments, right? I'm gonna reply. How do you feel about this team or these teams, right? So this team is gonna be pretty cool. Let's move on to another team. It's gonna be team number 8, Talonflame, Mandibuzz, and more people. This is very risky, very risky, very risky in terms of things like Rock, Bastodon, Carving. If you see those teams, it's gonna be over. Run Snarl again. There's Air Slash in your Mandibuzz. Run Snarl. Yeah, besides that risk, now I put this team because I run this team, and yeah, if you find those things, it's gonna be like pretty much over. But if you don't find those things, then this is gonna be pretty cool, right? So it is going to be pretty cool if you don't find any of those. All right, and besides, if you have like 10 battles per day, it might be just one team with carvings these days, and carving is like not top 3 Pokemon like before. It is like I guess it's 20s or 30s ranked, and well, people are using it still, but yeah, but this is a very super risky. Sometimes you gotta play risky teams, right? And I put this team because I was having a lot of the problems with a lot of the things like A-Slash and things like, you know, grass. So I decided to run ABA flyers as well, right? So I came up with this team, and sometimes it happens, you don't find any of the Bastodons, any of the carvings, right? Or yeah, those things. It happened, and yeah. Then after 10 or 12 battles, I started getting Bastodons. Then I again changed my team. So you gotta do rotations on your teams, right? You can use this kind of teams. That is why I put this team. Now, please don't comment, oh, this team is this. Yeah, Sri Annihilape put this very bad looking team, and it was not, you know, proper balanced team for the Great Big Meta. Don't please watch the full video what I said. That is why I put this video, right? I mean this team in this video. So let's move on to another one. It's gonna be Mandibuzz, Steelix, and Fat Boy Diggers. Again, double to fighting at the back. Run Thunderfang in your Steelix instead of Dragon Tail as the fast move. It's Dragon Tail, the graphics in the video, but I suggest you run Thunderfang, right? Yeah, nothing much to understand. Double weak against fighting at the back. Fat Boy Diggers and Steelix there. And yeah, weak against Fury up front, but you got a Steel type there. You can use Fat Boy Diggers as the safe swap, or even Steelix as the safe swap. Yeah, it's gonna be alright. So even if it's going to be things like Bastodon in the lead against your Mandibuzz, you can come with your Steelix, put some different move sets, right? Run like that. But yeah, anything cannot be perfect, right? So this is kind of a cool team to run, and even against things like Morpeko, this team does pretty well. If it's a Zoomeril, you can tank a move, come in with your Digger Speed, tank one move, throw Scorching Sands, and you got Thunderfang your Steelix. You can also put Earthquake as a charge move. I used to put Earthquake in my Steelix, and it did very good, right? And plus, it takes a lot of time to load. That is the problem, but yeah, it's fine. And let's move on to another team. It's going to be team number 10, final team, Wigglytuff, Feraligatr, and Annihilape. Now, not that balanced, but pretty balanced team. Okay, Wigglytuff weak against Talonflames. You got a water at the back, right? And you can come with your Annihilape as a safe swap. It's no big deal. Definitely need to shield the fly. Feraligatr can do solid. And Annihilape being weak against those Sableye and things that use Shadow Claw as the fast move, and you got normal type Wigglytuff there. That's how this team deals, right? That's how this team is designed, and it's gonna be pretty cool against a lot of the things. Plus, there are a lot of Dusknoirs, Dusclops, Corsolas, and Wigglytuff is gonna do so good, right? And ABB in terms of those things like carvings and Bastiodons, and if you find Victory Bell, it's gonna be extremely difficult. And even Venusaur, extremely difficult. Those things are the core breakers for this team. Please, yeah, keep that in mind before running this team. So yeah, that is it, guys. That's pretty much the top 10 teams. And I've got other teams in my previous best 10 teams for the Great League. And there are kind of different teams. I tried different teams in different videos. I hope you like this, right? I hope you like this content. If you like the content, please like and comment. and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, and do join our Discord server. The link is in the description. And yep, thank you so much. See you guys in my next video.